Hey family, this is an update on the Fat Cat Punjab landlords protests that are being fraudulently called farmers' protests. We have clarity now to safely say that what is happening in the garb of the farmers' protest is betrayal and cheating of the public who have immense respect for the Indian farmers in their hearts. And this so-called protest is a wicked move against 99% or more of the genuine farmers of this country. So let's call this protest what it is. The super wealthy capitalist landlords making life miserable for all of us because they are uninspired, wicked, and too used to being a bully and mooching off the resources of our country. Please understand that only 6 to 8% of the farmers receive the minimum support price, i.e. the MSP in India, and this price is given on very few crops. These wealthy Punjab landlords are the biggest beneficiary of the MSP in the country. MSP is funded by us taxpayers' money, which these fat cat landlords receive for their sub-quality wheat that has feeble demand. For growing this wheat that is turning the soil saline, which can be imported 30% cheaper, they receive free water and electricity that again is funded by the taxpayers. The appeasement of these bully fat cat landlords has put Food Corporation of India among many institutions in debt. Most of what is bought from them rots and is sold at throwaway prices to the brewery companies that again are owned by these fat cats. Punjab uses 10% of all the synthetic fertilizers used in entire India for only 2% cultivated land. These chemical-laden fertilizers have destroyed the organic matter of the soil. Water levels have dropped drastically. Earlier, Punjab had a richness in a diversity of crops, and now it is reduced to a monoculture of bad quality rice in Kharif season and reducing in demand GMO crop wheat in Rabi season. This has led to the small, unprotected farmer losing his earning. The whole agriculture of Punjab has been compromised and will be revived only with robust agricultural sector where a farmer earns on the authentic demand and quality of his produce. And for that, these farm bills are critical. Please understand that the APMC or the mandis are in complete control of these protesting fat cat landlords. Their produce, good or bad, gets preference for purchase at the mandis. The mandi system is highly detrimental to the small farmers. These mandis work with the agenda to force the small farmers to sell their produce at the cheapest price possible to these fat cat farmers. These mandis are the main reason for the sorrowful plight of the real farmers. And these fat cat farmer landlords are lying about their fears of multinational companies. They have been doing profitable business with Nestle, Pepsi, McDonald's for years. Today, when you visit Punjab, you will see gaudy banquet halls where at one time stood crops. Cancer trains are a reality. Hard drugs have gripped Punjab. Once prosperous Punjabis are the menial workers in Canada, Australia, and UK. If that is not enough, bully organization SGPC, controlled by these very fat cat landlords, is conveniently sleeping as the evangelist conversion mafias run amok in the land of the Daswi Patshahi. If the situation was working for all so very well, then why were there so many farmer suicides? And now, these fat cats are shamelessly advocating mass murderer Bhindranwala's case. I have seen the Bhindranwala terrorism phase of Punjab. On the way back from school in Patiala, I have seen bodies of Sikhs shot dead. Their lunch boxes fallen open with lovingly prepared food strewn on the road, their bodies nonchalantly covered with their turbans. I have felt the trauma of seeing my college Hindu professor and principal shot dead in the head, lying in a pool of blood in the college corridor. Young girls were picked up from the villages in the dead of the night to be used as sex slaves for these terrorists who had their headquarters inside the pious Golden Temple. The Bhindranwala inspired Khalistani terrorism was murderous towards all residents of Punjab. What did these fat cat landlords do to protect the Sikh people getting killed on the roads, or the Sikh girls being abducted as sex slaves, or the Golden Temple that was being sullied? When the gruesome Sikh genocide happened in Delhi, what did these fat cat landlords do to ensure justice for the Sikhs? I can tell you, absolutely nothing. Even today, they have no shame in openly supporting pro-Khalistani terrorists that traumatize Punjabis and almost put a tag of a terrorist on all turban-wearing, honest, God-fearing Sikhs and made a once prosperous Punjab almost a failed state. So does it not make you curious as to why they are out today? As far as I know, Punjab state has already decided not to implement the new Farm Act. This is an agenda-driven protest to address the insecurity towards losing the monopoly rule over the agricultural system that worked only and only for them. Please also understand that there is no distinction between these fat cat landlords, politicians, and the mandi operators. They are all one, holding us at ransom so that their failed, damaging, inhuman status quo remains at all costs. Just like the rest of India, Punjab needs these farm laws urgently. Punjab needs to develop new farming patterns that heal the soil and bolster the earnings of all farmers, big and small. Please remember that this protest is against our authentic farmers, is against Sikhs, is against India, and is certainly against humanity. These are not annadatas. Recognize them as toxic creeps. If you are supportive or apathetic towards them, pretending to not see the blatant, corrupt hooliganism, you are a part of the problem too. Thank you for listening, family, and I will see you soon.